Hey there, this is Alex Kluge from Toronto Home Experts. But before we dive into this month's market update video, there's a friendly reminder for you to like this YouTube video, comment below, and also subscribe to our channel. It really helps the YouTube algorithms. All right, so let's dive into the August 2025 Toronto market update. Now, again, just as a friendly reminder that we are looking at August numbers. Now, this is the summer month. Typically, August is the slowest month of the summer in terms of market activity, and also typically we see a price decline during the month of August relative to where we were in the spring market. But this usually sets up the market for the fall, right? Really, what we're trying to see here is like, what can we determine from these numbers to predict what may actually happen this fall market? So let's dive right in. Okay, so sales volume. This is actually mildly encouraging that we're up 2.3% over last August. Again, not to read too much into this. This is like, just an overall metric to see what kind of turnover we're seeing with sales during the month of August. Again, as I said, slow month usually. So 5,000 is still quite low by historical standards, but relative to where we were last year is, we're up just over 2%. Now, active listings, this is when it starts to get very interesting. Active listings are up a whopping 22%. Okay, so what does that usually mean? Well, it doesn't take much foresight to predict. The more active listings you get, typically we see a price decline, right? This is a pretty sharp increase. And what I find interesting is that, like, we're seeing the inventory for condos certainly outpacing that of freeholds, relatively speaking. Now, the condo market has been hit very hard. We're starting to see a lot of the new completions that were sold, back in 2020, 2021, finally come to fruition, and we're now seeing a lot of inventory hit the market. So that's certainly having an impact on prices, certainly in the condo segment. So unsurprising when you see that kind of volume increase or active listing increase, we're going to see a price decline. So we're down roughly 5% from where we were a year ago. Again, this number really varies specifically to different neighborhoods, asset type, like where we're looking at townhouses, semi-detached, or condos. And so really we want to take this number with a little bit of grain of salt. But again, unsurprising when we see active listings spike like that, we're going to see average prices decline. So where we were from last month. So July, we're starting to see some positive developments in the real estate market, and now we're down roughly 2.8%. Again, not surprising in the least bit. But what I'm really interested to see was what happens this September and October. Now I'm recording this mid-month, and I would say that there's a lot of buyers on the sideline waiting to see what happens with the Bank of Canada's announcement this week. So hopefully we'll get some clarity in terms of what we're going to expect with the overnight lending rate, and what the Bank of Canada is thinking. But a lot of economists are predicting that we're going to see at least a 50 basis point drop this year, maybe more. It really depends on how sticky inflation is. But all this to say that prices are certainly the most affected in the condo segment. There's certainly some softness there, and we're seeing some pretty dramatic price changes, even from like a year and a half ago to now. So again, I think what's going to happen is we're going to see continued strength in the freehold market. Certainly, we've seen that in like some very desirable Toronto neighborhoods, like i.e. the Junction, Riverdale, Beaches, like that kind of thing. Like any neighborhoods that are close to downtown in the like what I call entry level market. Like so, that market has like pretty much remained resilient, and so that we're seeing like some relative strength there. But again, like what I said just a few moments ago, like really depends on neighborhood, price point, and asset type. So, but anyways, we're going to monitor these certainly very closely over the next 2 or 3 months, because that's going to be really telling of what we're going to be expecting for the rest of 2025 and heading into 2026. Anyway, so thanks so much for tuning in to this month's video. We love the questions that we're getting. We're getting a lot of great questions specific to the market, but also talking about specific neighborhoods. Like, we're seeing some really great questions. So keep those up. We love hearing from you, and tune in again for next month's market update video. See you then. Bye for now.